Let's get to our very first major conversation tonight. And this is a direct reaction to the decision by the NNPCL to increase the price of petrol, otherwise known as PMS. And this increase will take it to in the corridor of over 800 naira per litre, which was earlier between 500 and 600 naira. And in some parts of the country, they're saying it's now being sold at almost 1,000 naira or more. There are several reactions, including that of the Labour, asking that price should be reviewed. In fact, a lot of people are asking for the reversal, including Trade Unions Congress and the NLC. Well, the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has asked President Bola Tinubu to direct the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to immediately reverse the apparently, quote, illegal and unconstitutional hike in the pump price of petrol across its retail outlets. One of the groups that has been talking about is the Pengasan, the NLC, the TUC, but tonight I've been joined on the program virtually by the president of Pengasan, and also doubles as a president of the Trade Union Congress, Comrade Festus Osifo, who joins us virtually. Thank you so much indeed for your time tonight.
Thank you so much, Sheung. Good evening to you and good evening to your esteemed viewers.
Perhaps I should speak to you about your colleague and your brother, Joe Ajaero, who is said to have been taken by the DSS. I see that your organization, the TUC, has reacted to that. Is there anything more you wanted to say about that?
Yes, thank you, Sheung. Because in union movement and in labor movement, we always pride ourselves by saying that injury to one, it's an injury to all. So at daybreak today, the news got to us of the ordeal that the president of NLC is currently facing. And from our part, we have reached out to everybody beyond the press statement that we released condemning that act and condemning that action that took place this morning. We've also followed up by reaching out to all the security agencies in Nigeria to press home the fact that Joe Ajaero must be released immediately, because all we are demanding is that let them release him unconditionally and he must be released immediately. And we believe that before the end of today, he will be released, because they told us that they are fine-tuning something that they will release him soon. This was about 2 hours ago. But before I came to this program, I made some calls again, tried to reach out to both my colleagues that are currently in Abuja and the security outfits. They still assured us that they are going to release him, and we are hoping that in the next few minutes or few hours, the NLC president will be released. Because for us, you cannot silence the labor movement. The labor movement is one, irrespective, and we will continuously push to ensure that the plight of Nigerian workers are the front burner.
We're understanding that Mr. Farana is saying that today's arrest of Joe Ajaero is different from his invitation by the police. What more do you know about his arrest?
Yes, as at now, we don't really know exactly the reason why he was arrested. When we called, we made calls to those that arrested him. They told us that they are interrogating him on some certain issues. But we asked, what are the issues? They did not tell us. But they said that by the end of today, that Joe Ajaero is going to be released. So what is the issue that he's been arrested for? We don't know as at now. But we told them to come clean and to be transparent in everything they are doing. Just picking someone and putting in custody without talking to Nigerians, without telling us what the issues are, for us is not acceptable. And we have condemned that in all ramifications. So as of now, we don't know exactly what the issues are.
I mean, you see some of these issues with the authorities, with Mr. Joe Ajaero. I mean, one would be wondering, what exactly is it with the authority or the government and Joe Ajaero?
Yes, so the authority just have to come clean because you can't just pick someone and put behind bars without necessarily telling us what the issues are. So imagine for the last 2 months, this has actually been going on. The first one, they said is terrorism financing. Okay, they've invited him, he went there. If there are issues, are they pressing home the issues today? The answer is a no. So the second one, they said that disturbance to public peace that is being invited. Then this third one now, we don't really know the reason why they are questioning him at the moment. But in all of these, we cannot really place our hand on anything because the police and the DSS, they've not come out clean to tell us what the challenges are, what the issues are, what they have found. So clearly for us, we are seeing this as a witch hunt. Clearly for us, we are seeing this as a clandestine movement to clamp down the voice of the Nigerian workers. But this will not allow to stand, Sheung, I can assure you that.
We hope that we learn more about Joe Ajaero's arrest. But it does look like the labor unions are resolute about one thing, about their own reaction. There was an emergency meeting by the NLC today. We saw the TUC's release also, and it does look like the tone of the communique released by the unions signifies something that they are ready to fight back. Is that the case?
Yes, when any of our members, irrespective of the particular union it belongs to, whether it's at the center or at the affiliate, whenever we see that there is an unjust cause to clandestinely clamp such leaders, the union must always react. I will not fold our arm and allow one of the labor leaders to be so humiliated. So on our part, we are completely resolved. Both TUC and its affiliate, then NLC and its affiliate. So collectively, we are resolved to ensure that we put a stop to all this and let the unions face their business of defending the right of the workers. Sheung, like I said in your program the last time, for every time we come to the street to protest, we are signing hundreds and tens of collective bargaining agreements. We go from table to table negotiating, most especially in the private sector. So the union business is a very serious business. So we interfere on issues on a daily basis. I could tell you that today, Pengasan, for example, we're in a company called Nekonde in Lagos, and we picketed the company and we shut them down for some of the unjust acts that they have made it to our members. But these are all done without shouting or coming to the street. No, we were there in the country and we shut them down. These are part of the functions of the union on a daily basis. But when we are distracted, it becomes a challenge. And we urge the authority to just stop this and let's be focused on our core mandate and the reasons why we are elected to defend the interests of the Nigerian workers.
Let's go to one of a very touchy issue here, which is the hike in the price of petrol. We understand that your organization, both Pengasan and TUC, deeply involved in some of these conversations. First and foremost, you are one of those who was asking, talking to government about the implication of the price hike. NNPCL does not look to have any hopes if the price is going to come down. In fact, there are those who are speculating that it might go more northwards, and that the things might, in fact, remain the same for a long time. But the question will be, for those of you who operate within the oil and gas sector, isn't these foreseen before now?
Sheung, thank you so much for that question. I will switch between my hat as TUC president, Pengasan president, and also someone who has spent about 20 years in this sector. Sheung, if you remember clearly, I was in your studio some time ago, December and early this year, and you asked me, is government still paying subsidy? I clearly answered you without any ambiguity that yes, that the government is still paying subsidy. There was also the program that was organized sometime in May to celebrate the May Day this year, to celebrate Democracy Day, so on May 29th. Or rather June 12th, I can't remember the exact, it was May 29th or June 12th, but I was in your studio and Maokbe and Chambali asked me a question regarding this. I came to the studio just immediately after the Minister of State, Petroleum Resources, Oil, just left your station. And I clearly confirmed that what the minister was putting forward was not really right. Because as at that day, that there was subsidy. We are still paying subsidy. But that there was something that happened, Sheung. At a particular time, we saw the danger, that the clear danger in this. It is not in quote, the deregulation of the downstream sector of the oil and gas industry, as it affects PMS. But the real challenge was devaluation. And I stated this on that particular day, that the conundrum that we are facing was devaluation. That as at last year, September, that when the price of crude was about $80 per barrel, and also the exchange rate was somewhere around 750 naira to $1, and the pump price of PMS hovers between 600 to 700, that we were not paying subsidy as at then. So as at that time, subsidy payment was zero. But as the exchange rate kept devaluing, as the exchange rate kept moving from that 600, immediately it hit 800, 900, 1,000, subsidy returned. And today, Sheung, the exchange rate is 1,600 approximately. So these had brought back subsidy. So as at then, what did we do as Trade Union Congress of Nigeria? And also from Pengasan, immediately we saw this. We saw the exchange rate moving, because on a daily basis, we do the calculations. We know what the price of PMS is, what they call plat. So we know what it was. So as at then, when we saw that the exchange rate was moving quickly, we met with those in the oil and gas sectors, the regulators, and we proposed to them that yes, the devaluation, the naira is sliding down, and that the more the naira slides down, that it is going to affect the pump price, or you will pay subsidy. But that what we are advocating is that government should give us in that sector a special rate, so that if government, for example, had locked the exchange rate on this around 750 naira to $1, to today, there wouldn't have been any subsidy payment at all. So they did this for a while. They listened to us at a time. They did this for a while before sometime this year, they felt, oh, no, they can no longer do this. So that is actually the conundrum. The challenge, which we have stated over and over again, that the greatest elephant in the room is devaluation. That it is because of devaluation that is making the price of AGO, popularly referred to as diesel, what it is today. It is because of devaluation that is making Jet A1 to be what it is today. It is also that is making kerosene to be what it is today. So we have actually been crying that the more our naira is allowed to slide down south, the more we are going to have this challenge. And that is actually where
but the question, so there are those who will say, you who negotiating with the Nigerian government, those who are on behalf of the Nigerian people in the labor union, should have seen this coming, and perhaps also not only speculate, see the whole picture of what was going on in the NNPCL, and the fact that there is still the burden of subsidy that's being carried in one way or the other. Those who will say that it was a matter of time that the price was going to go up. I mean, those who will say, why would you say that or think that we're not going to get to this point? It's that those who will say, look, this is like deja vu. We saw that this was coming. We felt this before. We've seen this before. It has happened over and over again.
But yes, correct. We saw it. I came to your studio on several occasions, and I hammered on it on behalf of Pengasan and on behalf of TUC. We have consistently hammered on it. If you look at a press release that we did at a time, sometime in February and later on in April, from Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, we cited some of all these. Some of these press releases, you also highlighted them in your program. So we were not, for us, we knew that we are going to get to this point because of the challenge that the devaluation of Naira brought to bear. if our Naira, for example, was exchanging at the pre-May 29, 2023 rate of 450 Naira to $1, PMS would have been selling for the around the region of 350 Naira per liter. AGO would have been selling somewhere around 350 Naira, 360 Naira per liter. So it's very clear. So for us in Pengassan and also TUC, they did not take us unawares because we clearly knew when these challenges were there. That was why, before the price was adjusted, if you remember clearly, I came to your studio and I said there was a solution that we have proposed from Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, and that solution, that as at that time that they are operating it. And what was that solution? Give a special rate of FX to those managing the downstream sector of the oil and gas industry. So give that discount to them so that Nigerians will buy PMS at a reduced rate. So that was what we proposed as at then. And I can confirm that at the time it was implemented, even when the FS rate was hitting 1,000 plus, they were managing it with a discounted FS rate. But today, that discount is no longer there. So did it take us unaware? The answer is a no. We were clearly, we knew what was happening and we intervened even before it got to this stage.
So
and
Mr.
it was our
Osifo,
intervention that made us to be buying PMS at that rate till about a week or two ago.
Yeah, you have suggested that the federal government should reverse that decision or tell the NNPCL to reverse the decision on the price hike. The question will be direct answer, pay subsidy, and we're going to be getting that money somehow, somewhere. But NNPCL has come out to say we can no longer bear the burden. This is too much. In fact, understandably, that we understand rather that NNPCL is owing about 5 to 6 billion naira in that burden that they have been bearing. That is what you are asking for. Federal government, go back to other price, be paying subsidy, or return subsidy fully. Is that what your organization is asking?
Sheung, what we are asking for is actually what was done in the between October to sometime early this year. And that position is very clear, Sheung. If today, if federal government ask NNPC, give NNPC a special rate, okay, so you remember recently, it was announced that to Dangote Refinery, that they will be selling PMS as crude to Dangote Refinery in Naira. And that the exchange rate that they are going to use is going to be 1,500 Naira to $1. And that exchange rate is going to be low. Why? You see, that government has given a special rate to Dangote Refinery. So that is also what we are advocating, that there must be a special rate that will be given to the operators in the downstream sector of that industry. If government today says, NNPC, we are going to give you a special rate of say 800 Naira to $1. So if that happens, I could tell you that today they wouldn't be paying any subsidy, because even with this adjustment that was done a few days back, there is still subsidy that is still being paid, because the landing price of PMS today is in the neighborhood of about 1,200 Naira. So that means today there is still subsidy that is still being paid. But if government comes out,
who is paying that? Where is that money coming from? Is it being appropriated for? Who is responsible for it? Which ministry? Is it the finance ministry or the Ministry of Petroleum Resources? Who exactly is responsible for that payment?
Yes, normally it's a country, a government. Federal government, for example, is the one that is managing the subsidy regime. But as of today, at the NNPC is the one carrying the burden, because I've listened to lots of their releases and all that. So NNPC is the one carrying the burden. But what we are saying is that for that burden to be removed, for that burden to disappear, you need to give a special FS rate to NNPC, just as you are given to Dangote. So when that is done, I can tell you that the price of PMS is going to go down south compared to where it is today. If that rate is fixed, then we wouldn't have this challenge that we have today. That rate was actually fixed for a while. Between October last year to sometime this year, that rate was fixed. So all we are advocating is that government should fix that rate.
But let me ask you, Mr. Osifo, you have warned about the implication of the hike in the price, and you say that the disturbing news of the increase of PMS pump price all over the country has sent a wave of apprehension and depression across the length and breadth of the nation. And you have gone ahead in that statement to say there will be implication on the economy. You have also said that critical stakeholders were not consulted. In all of what you are asking or saying, what price would you suggest that the price, the petrol price should be pegged? And that those who will say, if you are saying it, that means that the market force that is supposed to determine the price is no longer at play.
Even with the price today, the market force is not at play. That is why you could see that it is difficult for the PMS from Dangote refinery to come into the market. That is why you could see that Ipman and all other players in that sector, we have major players in that sector, we have Emadet, we have Matrix and all that. You could see that they could not go to Dangote refinery to lift PMS and sell, because if you buy directly from Dangote refineries today, you will not be able to sell at the current pump price. So today, the market forces are not in play in any way. So for us, what we have written in our press statement is that it should reverse back to what it was before this last announcement was made, at least. So you have to take that back. And to take that back, we have also suggested the mechanism with which you could use in managing that. And that mechanism for us is what we believe can be done regarding the price of the FS rate between the Naira and the dollar.
Now, let me ask you quickly, if it doesn't happen, you are asking for a reversal. NNPCL said that does not look like it will happen. What would you do as an organization?
And yeah, Sheung, you know, we are organizations that are ruled by organs. So we have 3 levels of organs as far as TUC is concerned, and we'll review this and we'll communicate to Nigerians, because for us today, Dangote refinery has started production, so all the bottlenecks around the reasons why that product could not get to the market must be resolved, so that Nigerians will benefit outrightly from this. And also, the other refineries as well, we're also putting pressure behind the scene as well to get the other refineries to function, to get the other refineries to work. So the pricing issues around Dangote refinery and NNPC should be quickly resolved. Once that is resolved, we believe that there will be some benefit that will be accruable to all this. But in terms of what we'll do, is the organs that will take decision on the way forward on this.
If this does not happen, you have pronounced doom will reign if this goes on. How bad could the situation be? Because you have said in your statement that things are already bad, that the worst situation in the hardship that some Nigerians face will worsen. How bad could things be if the reality is that there's no money to pay for subsidy, or there's no way subsidy can be paid on any of these products? I mean, especially petrol. How bad could things be? What are you looking at?
Sheung, if you give a special rate to NNPC, you don't need to pay for subsidy anymore. The same special rate that you are giving to Dangote to sell PMS for Dangote, a special rate was given. Before now, Sheung, we have had our customs given special rates. So that special rate should be given in that sector. Once you give that special rate, then it will be better off. Let me quickly give you an instance, Sheung. Today, if, for example, you approach Dangote with the sale of crude to Dangote in Naira, and you decide that that crude price that you are selling to Naira, the exchange rate will be 1,000 Naira to $1. Do you know that if you do that, then all marketers can go to Dangote and pick PMS and sell at a reduced rate compared to what is practicable today? So it is about that exchange rate. So that is what we have propounded over time. But overall, in terms of the implications, you have listened to NECA, you have listened to Lagos Chambers of Commerce and Industry, you have listened to NASIMA, you have listened to players, both in private and in public sector. NECA told us that if they continue in this, that a lot of companies are going to shut down, that a lot of companies are going to fold up. And NASIMA said the same thing. The SCCI said the same thing. For us in TUC, what we have said is very clear, that if we continue in this line to allow PMS to keep spiking and going up, the artisans on the street, the welders that are down there, the barbers, they will all start closing their shops because maybe people will start getting clipper on their own to remove their hairs at home. So this is going to percolate down across the length and breadth of Nigeria. So for our position clearly is that the effect of this will reverberate across the length and breadth of our dear country.
Are we likely to see the labor unions get into the street to protest on this one? Is that the likelihood of what could happen?
Our August will take that decision, yeah.
Thank you so much indeed, Comrade Festus Osifo, who doubles as the president of Pengasan and that of the Trade Union Congress. Thank you so much indeed for your time tonight.
Thank you, Shehu.
Appreciate it.